Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater. Out to short. And it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like we drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, two-run shot to right. We welcome you to the Roadrunner Athletic Complex here in Deptford Township for a matchup between two teams not far from each other and not too far from each other in the men's soccer standings either. We've got Tuesday JUCO men's soccer between the Camden County Cougars and the RCSJ-Gloucester Roadrunners. The Roadrunners looking for their first win since Saturday, September the 13th. They're on a 3-game losing skid after a 4-1-1 start to the season. They lost their last 3 matches, 2-0 to Middlesex, 2-0 to Sussex, and 2-1 to Union. Now, they had a match scheduled versus Ocean County, but that got rescheduled and now is set for October the 16th. So meanwhile, RCSJ, they haven't played in a week and now try to find themselves in a good position versus a nationally ranked Camden team that's 7-2-2 on the season. I would say it's a young season, but guess what? We're already a month into it, and we've only got about a month or 3 or 4 weeks to go. The Cougars have won their last just one match. They seem to have been on a very consistent roll this year with a lot of blowout wins, as, again, to be expected for a Camden County roster that is partially international. RCSJ maybe has 1 or 2 players from outside the state and maybe another 2 or 3 from outside the U.S. Camden County, a good chunk of their roster is made up of players from South America and Europe that come over and play soccer for Blackwood and for the Camden Cougars. Their last win was a 5-3 barn burner win over Montgomery County, the Broncos, but then they had their only 2 losses of the regular season prior to that. On Tuesday the 23rd, they lost 3-2 to Bergen and then lost 2-0 at home versus Raritan Valley on Thursday the 25th. So before that, Camden was previously unbeaten, and they now find themselves 7-2-1 on the season with already a good start to 2025. Scoreboard on the bottom of your screen showing those records off. RCSJ 4-4-1 with a 3-game losing streak, trying to snap the skid this afternoon here at the Roadrunner Complex. It's 78 degrees at kickoff. Going to be starting a couple minutes behind schedule, but either way, took a little while to get the starting lineups going, and we'll introduce those in just a second as RCSJ wrapping up their huddles in their team circle on the right side. I'm Dan Wilkins. Today you're watching coverage of NJCAA Region 19 men's soccer on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll be here for a couple of more games this year, but definitely this being our last of September is going to be a fun one between two teams we've covered plenty of times before in the Region 19 circuit. 45 minutes in the first half, 90 minutes total to go here from Deptford Township. We'll see what each team's got in store, and we'll see if Camden County can continue on their winning ways or if RCSJ can stop their losing skid. We're underway. Driving towards midfield on the far sideline. That was number 11 in on that one, Nico Segarra. We talked about international players. Camden's got them aplenty out of Mallorca, Spain. Now another drive by the Roadrunners. Camden unable to stop it, but it will go to their goalkeeper, who brings that one in Major Evans. A player from Wolverhampton, England, over in the UK, over in Wolverhampton, one of the Premier League teams. again, shocking to see so many players international come to Camden County College. But again, they've been top 5 nationally for several years at this point, which is a hard standard to keep up with JUCO athletics, to keep that standard going. As trying to work some defense here with number 6, Rinze Moise. And then in on the defense is a whole bunch of pine needles are coming in. Taking over the broadcast booth as a gust of wind just came in. Might be seeing that all day. Number 13, Matt Lilia, had a good defensive spot there. Lilia now throws it in, gets past and Gobo. Now over to Jimenez. A local product for Jimenez out of Pennsauken. Pennsauken boys soccer has had some good years, but, you know, back a couple of years ago, Camden County boys soccer, men's soccer used to be almost exclusively international, as Lilia with a good stop on defense now turns it over to Luck Justine out of Meridian, Idaho. That one is a wide shot off the crossbar. Close call, headed in. Looked like that Zayarni was the closest one to it. Still driving at midfield. On the far side for Camden. No luck for them so far, but just still trying to find a little bit of a rhythm as that one went out near the far flag on the far sideline. Corner for Camden. This will be their first of the day. Will be taken by Segara. Looks good. Wall able to keep it out, or looks like no, that's going to be Ramirez. Check that, that's Torres at Cherry Hill West in goal. Yeah, Torres has been more or less the de facto starter this year. Don't know why I thought Wall was in there briefly, but we will go over the starting lineups for both teams, and why don't we take care of that now, or at least once Camden stops driving, if they're able to. It's that's Mestre again this time. Still driving, blocked by Torres. Headed over by Elijah Cummings at a Shalleck. Now getting a good stop and creating some space offensively is Justin Lewis. Popped up. Getting in on it that time is Jacobson. Scored a goal. I think he scored 2 goals the last time we covered a men's soccer game versus Harrisburg. A game that ended in another barn burner fashion, 4-3 in favor of RCSJ. Cam Bordra got the player of the game that time. But the starting lineup for Camden, led by head coach Dan Keefe, assisted by Nick Jangert and Julian Gargano. We've got Markian Zarzani, Christian Jimenez, Bono Winhoven, Reens Moise, Vasco Perdiz, David Mestre, Nico Segara, Luck Justine, Quam Dixon, Keiji Nishikawa, and then Vigo Brander. Not to mention, in goal, Major Evans, the sophomore. Throw in by Borger, far side. Jacobson tried to get in there. Camden able to get the turnover, blocked by Borger. Now brings that one over the middle with Segara in tow. Now flicks it back to the defenseman in Nishikawa. Keeps it on the ground at the left side. just about 6 minutes into the first half here in Gloucester County. Roadrunners playing good defense, but Camden definitely looks like they're overwhelming RCSJ at the moment. Not really able to get any kind of clean possession going for a long time. Nishikawa there. Jacobson tried to take over. Nishikawa with Lewis, the closest man to him. This one's got some good distance on it. It will go to Lilia, the former Cape Atlantic product out of Buna Regional. Good pass intended for Bluebird, but unable to get it done. That'll be out of play, and it'll be Camden ball with Mestre to throw. Nishikawa flicks it back to Evans. Liner on the ground on the left side. Popped up. Good distance for Moise, who ends up trapping it, gets it past Bluebird. Now it rolls over to Justine. It's Mestre. Left side, cutting through the traffic over to middle. Bloops it up. Mestre able to bring it down. Now here comes more trouble. Gets the shot and wide right. That one will go out of play and towards the construction shipping containers there on a well-thought-out shot by Zayarni. That one's going to roll. I think that rolled all the way on a Tanyard Road, or at least close to it. That poor ball runner, he's going to be looking for a long time for that ball. Lilia, back to Bluebird. Off the chest of Perdiz. Bluebird hanging onto it. Now on the ground, sent back. Again by number 11 Ngobo. Borger, far side. Got a lot of room, but just a little bit too much on it now as Evans sends it away. It's popped up. Misses. Back down to Bluebird. Trying to send it the other way. Now here's Lewis. Got a chance on the left side. He's got a lot of room. He's got Nishikawa. Works around him. Runs into a wall of Camden traffic. And that will be Evans who picks it up. Justin Lewis, the graduate of Kingsway Regional in Swedesboro. 2 goals, 3 assists this year, and 7 points total. Popped up Jacobson. Whiffing on it is Moise. And this rolls back over to Mestre. And Ngobo trying to hang on to it. And Camden still driving. I mean, they've controlled the possessions for most of this opening segment so far. A lot of space for for Justine. I mean, RCSJ just wants a turnover. They know they can be effective if they have one break, as that one goes wide right of Torres. Bit of a far out shot that time as 2 subs will come in for RCSJ. Looks like Jacobson is one coming out. First sub is John Lara. And second sub is number 26, Jake Hartman. Hartman's going to get a play right away. Got over his head and Nishikawa's. Another header, this time by Cummings. Popped up, good footwork that time from Moise. Rolling out again to Torres' right. Look who's taking some pictures today. Looks like Gus Ostrom's out on assignment. Taking some shots for the Roadrunners today. Torres will send this one away. The Cherry Hill West grad. An aggressive header sent down by Jimenez. Another aggressive header by the Roadrunners. Camden with a powerful shot. That will miss, and it will roll out on the near flag. So that kid finally must have been able to find that ball that rolled all the way near the construction equipment. Again, we mentioned it before in these broadcasts that all the construction you see behind you is for the Rowan Medicine Building for the Virtual Health College of Medicine and Life Sciences. I mean, Rowan University has been expanding so quickly. It's been really interesting to see, and some of it now being built on RCSJ's campus. On the ground. Sent up in the air, Lily unable to come down with it. On the near side, barely keeping it in this time. It's Moise. Now over to Perdiz, the freshman. Roadrunners trying to drive, and Gobo's there. He's got some room, deflected. It misdirects and misleads Lewis. And Justine will send it out of play. Lewis will throw. Pump faked about 10,000 times. Now it's back to Lilia, who flips, and it's going to be Evans who has it. He's going to try to draw a little bit of time off the clock. We're 12 minutes into this one. Off the chest of Cummings, almost accidental that time. And Ngobo will draw a foul that time with a little bit of a check from Winhoven. Shockingly, I think that was the first foul of the game, and it took us about 13 minutes to do it. So we'll see if this, again, it's not like when we talk about high school athletics, I cover a lot of rivalries a lot of the time. Down here, it's Pittman-Glassboro, Washington Township versus Williamstown, Cherry Hill East, Cherry Hill West, and that's going to be a goal for Camden. Camden scores first on the goal by Joey Summers, it looks like. Looks like Mestre got in that time. 32:08 on the board. It's his third goal of the year, putting him at 9 points on the season. And again, Roadrunners kind of expressing their displeasure there after that goal. Cummings on the ground to Lilia. Mestre takes over again. Now here goes Camden again. Another floater that gets popped up. Again, Camden just trying to bring that one down, trying to bring something back to their home. Throw in by the Roadrunners. Lilia turns it over. Back to Segara. A lot of faces going everywhere at once. Lewis. A whiff that time. Roadrunners tried to take over there. Hartman wanted a handball called, or something of the sort. And it will roll out on the far sideline. Closest to it was Quam Dixon out of Sicklerville. Doesn't list the high school that they went to, just the hometown. So Sicklerville could mean a million different things. Could mean Timber Creek. Some kids from Sicklerville go to Williamstown or Washington Township, but that was a shot off the back of the head for the Camden player. And a good deflection on the rear part of the foot that time from Owen Vinamarte out of Rancocas Valley. Little standing shot, misses to the left of Torres. With that, we'll introduce the RCSJ starting lineup for today. Now, their roster is listed alphabetically instead of numerically, which I've mentioned about no less than 100 times that for broadcasting we want the rosters numerically. But either way, we'll work through it as we go. Cameron Borger, Charleston Bluebird, Elijah Cummings, Braden Jacobson, Justin Lewis, Matt Lilia, Afiwe Ngobo, Noah Pagan, Gavin Reamer, Christian Romero, and then Diego Torres in goal, the starting lineup for RCSJ. Lewis turning it over to Moise. Back over to Evans. It's back over to Justine at midfield. Pass to Moise. On the ground. Eli Cummings coming in there. Working with Mestre to his back. Goes in for a slide, unable to get it. Camden still holding on and a shot wide right. Camden definitely putting on the pressure so far. Just whether or not they are executing is a different story. This broadcast is brought to you by Gray Fox Sports, premier sports photography right in your backyard. Book Gray Fox today at grayfoxsports.net or Gray Fox Sports, his handle on Instagram. 28:30 left in the first half. Busy campus today here in Gloucester County. Baseball team taking practice 2 hours left as they prepare for their fall schedule, including several games versus Division I programs, including Monmouth and Seton Hall and the University of Delaware. But when you've won 3 straight national championships, even for a junior college, they only want to play the best. It also helps that Coach Rob Valley has a lot of connections dating back to his time as a 6-year head coach at Temple. Mestre, shot on the ground, deflected everywhere, every which way, and that's a goal, Camden. 2-0 game as they score twice in the span of 5 minutes. This time, Vasco Perdiz getting the goal. And the Cougars lead this thing 2-0. Again, that's one of those things that when you're a nationally ranked program, you just do things such a different way. You train a different way, you play a different way, and right now those cracks are starting to show. I mean, the first ever RCSJ soccer game that we covered was at Rutgers Camden in 2024. That game ended, I believe it was 5 or 6-0 in favor of the Cougars. So Perdiz with his first goal of the day. Out of Portugal. That was his 12th goal of the year. 12 goals, only 2 assists. So he's been somebody that their head coach, Dan Keefe, has relied on a lot for the goal scoring. 24 points total for Perdiz. Flicks it back to their last line of defense in Nishikawa. Hartman tried to play up on him. Headed forward. And out of play. Camden throw. Bit of a missed opportunity there. Cummings with contact. Now it's Lewis. And a great move that time, but Lilia comes in and spoils the day. Now back over to Nishikawa, heads it down. Lewis. Now getting a good shot, but a little bit too much on it. Back to Evans. Nishikawa. On to the left side now on the defensive side for Camden. They flip it back to Nishikawa. That was Mestre who had a good touch on it. Again, Nishikawa getting a lot of touches, and now the Roadrunners kind of flipping the table, getting a lot more possessions or a lot more of the ball time on Camden's side of the field. However, they haven't really been in control of the ball much on their side. And now it turns back over again. Big hit and a foul. Filipo Suarez took the hit that time. Couldn't tell who was in there for Camden and drew the foul or got the foul against him. Free kick, Roadrunners. It was Vina Marte, the Rancocas Valley grad, who had that one. Now it's Lilia. Lewis, far side. Not really the best angle for it, but it's flipped up so close. Now it's Suarez. Going to be another close call. Looks like Roadrunners will have the ball with Lewis to throw. Actually, it'll be a corner. So this will be taken by Suarez. Suarez, the grad of Eastern Regional and Voorhees. No goals or assists this year, but he's going to try to get his first. Gets a good angle on it. Popped up, a little too much on it. Now working through heavy traffic, Vina Marte back at it again. Head-on collision. Lilia spins around, has to figure his situation out, and Lilia sends it too high. And that one's going to go all the way out towards the baseball field. Good intentions there from Lilia, trying to close off what was otherwise an unsuccessful goal kick, or corner kick rather. And Evans, back to Nishikawa. Again, Camden with a 2-goal lead can afford to take a little bit more time off the clock than the Roadrunners can. Obviously, we don't talk about too much about clock management in the first half, but when we talk about what it means to, have a dominant offensive performance, that's where that comes into play. Took a little shot that time. It's back to Suarez. Evans comes in, and he will take it on one knee. Nishikawa over to Evans. Misdirected the Roadrunners a couple times there with Hartman. Flipped up. Now over and back to Segara. Sends it over to Winhoven. Product of the Netherlands. Again, you got players from Europe, you've got players from South America, you got players from pretty much everywhere on this Camden team. You almost have more international players than you do Camden County kids. Which, at least for the Roadrunners, you can kind of take a little bit of an anecdote with you that this team is definitely more homegrown. A lot of these players probably played against each other in high school. Just looking at the sheer number of Williamstown guys, Clearview, Kingsway, those big regional high schools, a lot of them get a lot of pull here. Deptford, GCIT. Probably should have been a handball on Camden that time. Either that or it was close. On Dixon, man down. And a foul. I'm going to ask for the clock to be stopped, and I think we're going to have a card assessed. So the free kick this time. This one's a good one. Right to Torres, who bobbles it. Now they let up another chance. Oh, that would have been stopped if Torres had just hung on to it. Now another header just misses. So we'll reset the clock. Now 21 minutes left in the first half. On the ground by Cummings. Evans kind of backpedaling there with Lewis in tow. Again, there's a little bit of an intimidation factor in there. Now a chance for Hartman. Here comes Lilia. Turned over. Evans comes in. A little bit of a stop that time. Very close call. Now Nishikawa driving it up. Over to Sagara. Trying to block. Out of play. And the throw in by Vina Marte. They were able to keep it in that time. Here comes Hartman in with a slide. Bit of a collision, but no foul, no harm. Far sideline. Deflected by Mestre. Here we go. Rolling through. Liner way out of town. Oh, it hits the Porta-John. Hope nobody was in there. That would wake them up. Just imagine that poor construction worker, so unsuspecting. That takes skill to hit that. It'll be Torres to send it away. It was one time we were doing a men's league baseball game. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. And there was a foul ball, and there was a parking lot behind the stadium. So if you were parked behind the field, you definitely could have been hit by a foul ball. And there was somebody who apparently was sitting in their car, and a foul ball hit their roof, and they weren't even in the car to watch the game. They were in the car because their significant other or whatever had been playing in the game, and they were just reading a book, and then a foul ball comes in and shatters the moonroof. That was a great story from one of my old men's league games, you know, the 21-up leagues. So people can definitely, let's just say in the stick and ball sports, things can definitely be hit to unusual places. Camden still controlling the possession with a 2-0 lead here. Good moves here by Camden. Sent over to middle, over the head of Hartman. Nishikawa gets it back. Moise setting it up. Now rolls it slowly on the near side to his right. Back to Sagara. Back to Moise. Torres running in. A little bit of a collision. Torres goes down. Roadrunners trying to save it. Torres saved it with his foot, and then it went in. I think Borger had the last touch. That's going to count as a own goal. It's going to be 3-0 there, but Torres kind of got manhandled, got hit a couple of times. And Camden will score to make this 3-0 here in the first half. Still 17 minutes to play in the first half. And the more that this game continues to kind of wind out of contention, could definitely see some things getting chippy. I mean, just looking at the penalty report, we saw some Camden players have received red cards over the season. Don't want to see it happen, but I've seen it many times before, just speaking from experience. You'll see it with some soccer games at all levels. As soon as it becomes out of hand, players will resort to personal judgments instead of playing the game. That's just kind of the nature of how a lot of JUCO soccer works. Suarez in there. Again, going in for a slide that time. It's out of play. Last one to touch it looked like Winhoven. Roadrunners will throw. Got stopped that time, and in the middle of it looked like it was Jacob Garrett, the Gateway regional grad. We just saw Gateway yesterday in high school action versus Audubon. Audubon won that game 2-1 in overtime. Nishikawa back. Will defer to Evans. Now Camden creating some more space. Moise up for it, touched it at least 2 or 3 times. Nishikawa. Left side over to middle. Gets a little bit of power over. Over to Justine. Moise has some space. Gets it back over to Justine. Over to Segara. Keeps it low. Whiffed by Jimenez. And sent out by Cummings. All the way. Good boot. Past midfield. Nishikawa. Excuse me. Almost muffed it there, but it's back to Evans. Another little back and forth jam here. Evans. Nishikawa. Shoots it through. To Justine. Gets it through. Segara in tow. Cuts to the right. It's back to Justine. They've been working a lot here. Shot. Missed left. "13 minutes and change left in the first half. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. Book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. Over the middle. This one looks like it could be a good chance here, but a lot of Camden players in the middle of it. Nishikawa going over to try to cut down number 17, Christian Romeo, to Hamilton product. Cutting near the baseline and out of play. That's number 19, Yasid Gonzalez. And they do finally give him some time here because he got hit pretty hard. That was not Gonzalez who got hit. I was mentioning Gonzalez, who had a good touch. Clock is still running. Now they ask them to stop. Or at least they were. They're going to have RCSJ's athletic trainer come out. Looked like he got a pretty rough hit. Clock is still running. We're just reflecting what it is on the bottom of the screen. It was number 4, Bono Winhoven. And he'll walk off the field. Did not need RCSJ's athletic trainer, but it looks like the Camden staff took care of it. Yeah, this is going to take like 2 minutes off the board here. I don't know how much it matters now because it's already a 3-0 game, but could mean a lot going forward. So it looks like coming in to replace Winhoven will be, looks like Segara had just been subbed out, and are they bringing him back? That is Segara coming back in. Throw on the near side. It got past Clodion Harzai. Shoots through the middle. Stopped by Justine. Still on the ground. At midfield for Miguel Bonterim. Here comes Evans. Looked like he was going to put a lot of power into that one. Now Justine flicks it back to him. Good stop by Lilia there. Under 10 minutes left and a half. Suarez trying to create some space here. Got stopped by Jimenez. Roadrunners will have a free kick started by Borger. Got a lot of height on it. Evans is somehow climbing above the rest. Gives a little shove that time. Yeah, he put a little bit of a charge into it. He's trying to explain his situation to the ref. I mean, you shoved a guy. I don't know what to tell you. And again, more clock being taken out here. For more of a Court of Appeals situation than anything else. Evans sends it away. Ishikawa brought it back to Evans. The man they call Major Evans out of Wolverhampton, England. On the ground, spinning past. Garrett almost had a chance at it, but it just died on velocity. And still Cougar ball. Good flick up that time. Vina Marte with some good footwork. Trying to create some space, collision. And out of play, Gonzalez getting into it that time. Another little shoulder-to-shoulder action there. Garrett looking for some room, man down. And now some room over the middle. Gonzalez to the right side for Bonterim. Elijah Cummings with a good stop there. And trying to attack that ball on a wide angle was Moise. He went down. He barely got touched. It's such a disheartening part of the game when players do that. I'll stop. Well, I guess they're just still having the clock run. Unless it was a non-contact thing, I'm not sure. stopped the clock with 6:32. Maybe it is more serious than we thought. I mean, it looked like it could have been a cramp situation or what, but in defense, you do see some players who genuinely, go down in that situation and do it to try to embellish a little bit. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do, but they'll be checking him out here. So they will walk him off the field. Second injury timeout for Camden, and I should say during the first one, the clock didn't even stop. So I don't know what the deal is over there, but 6:32 left in the first half. Camden leads this one 3-0. Again, just a long stoppage really takes any momentum that either team had out of their sails. Looks like we'll resume here. This one deflecting back. Camden still with possession. Man down, and a foul. Romeo. This one's popped up. And Gobo comes down with it. Out of play towards the far flag. Looked like I was able to stay in for what could be a corner opportunity here. Corner to be set up by Bluebird. And whistle goes before the corner. Unless there was a violation somewhere inside. Looked like the referee was having a discussion with Major Evans, the goalkeeper for Camden. And we'll line this one back up and try again. That's the second time the referee's had an issue with what Camden's goalkeeper was doing. Lilia with a pop-up, tries to get stopped. Cummings comes in. Able to keep it in. Not too much velocity on it, but it doesn't really matter. Suarez fading away. Lilia trying to save the possession. He does. Back over to Ngobo. And down and a foul. Powerful. Over towards Evans. He's got to go way outside this time. He's going to let it fly. Again, from way downtown, and it will roll out of bounds towards the Roadrunner sideline. Now it's Ngobo. And Evans really getting his cardio up there. A lot of long runs to his left. Deep over to middle. And out of bounds again. Just a lot of back and forth here without a lot of action. Lily and Fernandez getting together. Now it's back over to Perdiz. He had the second of 3 goals for Camden. Goes down. Cummings able to get the stop. Gets a little shove. Stays in it. Ball goes over his head. And a handball to be called on Camden. This one might be good here. Headed forward. Evans comes in and gets the save. A charging Romeo behind him. Ishikawa almost, he had to look over his shoulder to make sure that there was no unsuspecting Roadrunners behind him. Minute 15 left in the first half. Roadrunners looking for at least something to write home about in the first 45. Fernandez. Little push off, getting together. Spins and gets around Lilia. It was a great move there by Camden, creating a lot of space. Forward there, Borger. Torres dove to his left, but the ball wasn't coming to him. And this one's a good deflection out. Again, past midfield. Bluebird. Over the head of Romeo. Gonna have time for maybe 1 or 2 more possessions here with 35 seconds left. Garrett and then Romeo. Now Romeo on Ishikawa. And Ishikawa sends it out up to the top of the hill. It's going to roll back down. And then you've got Romeo to throw. Spikes it. Collision. They swallowed the whistle here. 12 seconds. Might not have time for much else. Here's Lilia with the shot. Evans got it. And it looks like that will end the first half with a score of 3-0 Camden over the Roadrunners. So Camden with some early goals, and, well, they've just been doing what Camden does. They're a nationally ranked program for a reason, and they lead the Roadrunners 3-0 here in the halftime break as the Roadrunners look to avoid their 4th straight loss. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with more NJCAA action right after this.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place, and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman, and if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear.
Woo!
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well.
The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside.
It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need.
And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives.
If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Jersey is the number 2 seed. As we said, they beat Manville 19-0 in the first round, which was even larger than Audubon's 16-0 win over Paulsboro as the 1 seed in the first round. That one's hit out towards center field straight away. Oh, she misjudged it. Got over her head in center field. Now this one's got a chance to be 3 bases for Spire. She's flying around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. What a way to kick off a semifinal with an inside the park home run. Emma Spire, who will take her talents to the Great Danes after 2026, lights up the scoreboard with a fly ball that got misjudged in center field. And Argabright with a full count. Outfielders in communication for the Quakers. Everyone's looking around in a tie game, bottom of the 6th. The 3-2 payoff. Ground ball. It's going to get over the head of Tolbert into left field. That's a base hit. 2-run score. Argabright delivers when asked. 5-3. Alex Argabright has given the Golden Eagles a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Two minutes remaining. 4 fouls on St. Joe's. 1 more and it's a bonus, which would greatly help Gloucester Catholic. The moving green guard! It's a 1-point game just like that! This place is going nuts! And now a drive to the basket by Spross. He lays it up and lays it in. St. Joe's has 2 timeouts remaining. Gloucester Catholic still has 3. Here we go. Mastero pulls up. He goes to 3. 6 points. Jack Mastero has tied the game with 90 seconds remaining. How will the Wildcats respond with a miss of... It will be inbounded by Pat Monahan. Oh, the ball gets away. Who's going to have it? GCIT will hang on to the possession. It goes to Stanwood. Stanwood inside. They'll get the shot off. It's good! Unbelievable! Gloucester calls the timeout, but will they get it? Unbelievable! Unbelievable! A double contest shot from Hellman! Wow. Ryan James wanted the timeout, but did they get it in time? Literally, they've been here twice, and they're about to score, or on the doorstep of scoring 50 for the 2nd game in a row. Xavier Terry Brown. He is still on his feet. He's being shoved forward into the end zone. But who's got the ball? Look at Jason Solomon. The ball magically appeared in Woodbury's hands, and now they're back at the 50. This one's going back. This one's going to go to the distance. I don't see any flags. Did that just go for 100 yards? I think it did. I do not see any flags as Woodbury. Oh my goodness, Jason Solomon, have a day. He is the first man not named Taylor to score. Wow, that was good. It will be inbounded. Jersey is the number 2 seed. And it gets past everybody. Graham will go back to position with no goal scored. They'll count down the time out loud here. Out to the left. One final shot, and it gets through. How about a buzzer beater? How do you do? It's a lead extending goal for Justin Lewis.
here from Rowan College of South Jersey. We've got a 3-0 game with the Camden County Cougars up top, up front, here as we begin or prepare to begin the second half. We're underway. Cummings with the first touch of the half for the Roadrunners. Already a good chance for Lewis. Gets a shove, or gives a shove, I should say. Borger looked like he had a chance there, no good. Back to Borger. Right side, Bluebird, shot blocked by Major. On the near sideline now, Borger to throw this one in. Oh, looks like a good deflection there. It is stopped. Good effort by Jacob Garrett, the Gateway grad. Fought over the middle with Cummings in there. Good play by Bluebird. Back over to Ngobo. Cummings. That one got stopped. Looked like Perdiz was in the mix. Lilia up there. Over to the right or left of Torres. Torres will send this one away. Got a good boot that time. Just trying to make a good advancement here. Borger now to Lilia. A couple of guys down there, including Justine. On the ground to Ngobo. He's going to try to advance this one. Bluebird in it. Spinning around. Garrett couldn't hang on to it. Camden still trying to hang on to the possession with Dixon in there. And out of play. Back and forth over the middle. Zayarni in it. Man down and a foul. Garrett now over to Dixon. Fades to the left for Jimenez. Still backpedaling here as it'll go back to Evans. Dixon pressured by Garrett and Bluebird. Again, Roadrunners just trying to make any advancement that they can. And Camden already starting to wind down the clock, even though we've still got 40 minutes left in the second half. This could be a very long and grueling second half if we don't see any offense from either side. In a game that will already be a difficult one to overcome for the Roadrunners. Another couple of big hits back to back. Roadrunners trying to get out of it. It goes over to Bluebird. Look at Lilia setting up the position here on the right, moving way up. Camden with their first big drive of the second half. Right side, Roadrunners trying to take over. Lewis is in there. Now it's Moise. Left side, spinning around with Jimenez. Borger came back in with it. Goes back to Dixon. And now to Nishikawa. Over to Ferdiz. On the right side, Camden will have a chance sliding in. And Roadrunners make the stop. Torres. Midfield, stopped by Nishikawa. Really good opportunity to stop what was a big flying kick there. Torres has been putting a lot of power on those boots. Coming in with a slide. And going up with it that time. It was definitely a good slide by Pagan. Haven't heard too much from him today. Oh, a little floater. That was close. Almost got past Torres. Waiting for a substitution to come in. Garrett will come off for RCSJ. Now Torres will send it away now that the substitution is finalized. Could be trouble, popped up. Brought down Borger. Now Moise coming in. Over to Mestre. Took a shot off of Mestre's backside. Segara out of play. And a whistle. Free kick for Camden. And only 11 minutes into the second half. Shot from Mestre. Roadrunners head it down, and now a long shot is a long way up and out. Over the head of Torres and over the crossbar, over everybody. Looks like Cummings in there. Shot got deflected. Camden gets it out. Borger. Bluebird will be the one to receive it. Hugging the near sideline. Keeps it low for Nishikawa to come in. On the ground. Right side. Jacobson's going to come in for this one. Burns out Ishikawa. But Ishikawa comes back and is able to make the stop. Corner by Bluebird. So even though they didn't get anything out of it, the advantage is now Bluebird, one of the Roadrunners' best corner specialists, will come in and try to get RCSJ on the board. Here with about 30 minutes left in the second half. Popped up and out of play. Looks like they're going to give him a second corner, though, this time from the near side. Actually, no, they're actually going to bring it back to the far side. It looked like Bluebird was running in as if he was going to take the corner from the near flag. But now, here comes number 6, Reamer, in, deflects. Bluebird has it. Now he's got some room. Shot. One hopper right to Evans. Mestre, right side for Nishikawa. Officially 30 minutes left in the second half. Out of play up the hill. On the ground, got a really good angle on it. Now it'll be Evans coming way out. Again, got to have a lot of confidence as a goalkeeper to be able to take those kicks from way out. Way out. It looked like he was about 10, 15 feet in front of the box when he took that one. Camden trying to drive through. Somehow able to penetrate a lot of this RCSJ defense. Lewis getting with Ishikawa. Kind of a defensive wall there by 16, Nishikawa. Throw in by Camden. Cummings. Back to Pagan, shoots it over to middle. Again, RCSJ just trying to drive in any way that they can. On the ground, Lilia. Man down, Camden comes up with it with Jimenez. So Torres will take this one with an offside call on Camden. I was going to say, Camden's pretty far out for Torres' comfort here. Now it's Borger on the ground over to middle and out of play. Good thing about that hill is that it usually rolls a lot of the balls to go out of play back on the back near the ball runner so that they don't have to go far. Oh, good hit there. Cummings. Now the Roadrunners with a little bit of space. A little bit too much on it. Now Evans returns it to center. Far out. Now here is Ngobo finding some good space. Still back and forth in Camden as they have been all day, controlling the possession. On the ground and out of play. Jimenez. Out of play. Roadrunner ball. It looks like it'll actually be Camden ball as Jimenez threw it in. Now it deflected off of Jacobson, goes back to Nishikawa. Back to Torres. Fading towards the near sideline, still in the box. Pagan sends it out. Borger, 2-touch. Oh, tripped over himself that time. Borger moving up. He'll throw. Maybe a little bit further up than he should have been, but they let it go. I mean, with it being a 3-0 game, do you really? But Vinamarte. Out towards the baseline, grounder shot, saved by Lewis, or Evans rather. Elijah Cummings has really been a great star on defense, even in this 3-0 game, has been a great defensive asset for the Roadrunners. Nishikawa turns it over to Borger, gets past him. Pagan with a fake, now with possession over to middle. Now a turnover. Here comes Torres, left side, and he'll grab it. Keep this one at a 3-0 game. Well, with 8 minutes left, it's 3-2. We had I had to take off the headset because there was some issue in my left ear. Thought after the second goal, put it back on, see if it was fixed, and it is. So why don't we go back at this again? 8 minutes left. And the Roadrunners have cut this lead to 3-2. Camden with another chance, and they're going to get a goal right back. It's 4-2. Well, the Roadrunners had kept it within one for about 30 seconds, and now Camden gets it back. And their first goal of the second half makes it a 4-2 game. But I'll tell you, a 4-2 game feels a lot more confidence-inducing than a 2-0 game, just because the Roadrunners have a little bit of a leg under them to get something going. Lewis will have the throw in. That one's out. You know, you didn't know when we started this game whether or not this would be a runaway or if RCSJ will be able to claw their way back. And right now they have clawed their way back a little bit. This will be a corner by Bluebird. Already putting on some pressure. Good angle. Pagan tried to come in pretty hard to head that one. Garrett on the ground, rather Lilly on the ground. Back over to Cumming, heads it. And now here comes the drive by Camden. Good slide, Pagan. We'll have a whistle here, and they're going to stop it. We have a card. It's a yellow on Pagan. So it'll be a free kick for Camden. Free kick by Moise. Bordra got hit from the back, and it will be Roadrunner ball as Torres will send this one away. Six and a half minutes left in the ball game. Remember, I would say regulation, but there is no overtime in NJCAA soccer. So after 80 minutes, if there's a tie, then the game will end in a tie. Or after 90 minutes, excuse me. This will be a throw by Jimenez. Far down the left side of the near side. Bordra to throw. Time is of the essence. Got under 6 minutes left. Trying to find a man to throw to. Off the chest of Moise. Now to Fernandez. Gonzalez, excuse me. Nishikawa sends this one out. The road ahead for the Roadrunners. They'll have their first matchup of October on Saturday, a 2:30 start versus Bergen. Man down for RCSJ. That's in Gobo. Clock stops with 4:56 left. As Ngobo will be attended to. As we said, Bergen on the 4th, and then away on the 7th versus Atlantic Cape. Home on the 9th versus Manor College. Home on Saturday the 11th versus Raritan Valley, and then that's actually a part of a 4-game homestand. They've got Delco on the 14th, Ocean County on the 16th, and then away at Brookdale on the 18th to close out the regular season. A loss today would bring them to 4-5-1, and it would be their 4th straight loss, dating back to September the 13th. Here we go. Good boot by Torres from far out. Here's Suarez. Camden sends it out. Over to Pagan, who stops it. They got to restart the clock on the far side. This isn't the first time this has happened. Referees aren't noticing it either. That's 30 seconds. Jimenez over to Lewis. Now they restart it. That just added about 30 more seconds to the game, though. Now here comes Jacobson. Coming in for a slide. Bluebird goes down. He's looking for a foul. He doesn't get it. Navernay. Excuse me, Zayarni. Perdiz. And the clock stops. There's a Camden player down on the far side. But I'll say, when we stopped the clock, we had 3:47. So there was about 40 seconds of action that was untimed. And this isn't the first time that this has happened either. I mean, people have discredited a lot of, I wonder if the referee's going over to discuss the game clock. Or as if it should be reset. Now it's going to 4:02. I guess that's the best estimate the referees could keep, but that's what we got. As the Camden player, Gentine, moves over to the sideline. Back rolling, 4 minutes to play. Over on the right side for Segarra, back to Jimenez. They'll send it out, and this will allow him to take a little bit of time off. Jacobson didn't run right into him. And a whistle here. Torres will take it. Actually, no, it'll be Cummings to take it. Torres was just the one to set it. Nishikawa gets into it. Headed down. Bluebird gets hit again. He's been getting battered around today. For Camden, a win for them would be their second straight. They would improve to 8-2-1 in the regular season. Their next match will be in 2 days on Thursday, the 2nd, at home versus Delaware County. And then Wednesday, the 8th, versus Mercer. They don't have that many matches left on their schedule either. Now this will be an open shot for Camden. One-on-one goal. That might be the dagger in that one. That's the second goal of the day for Vasco Perdiz, who scored in the first half. And the Roadrunners had a good comeback in place. They were only down 1, but that was very brief as Camden has reinstated their lead to 3 goals. It's 5-2. But they've got Delco on the 2nd, Mercer on the 8th, Brookdale on the 11th, Harrisburg on the 14th, and then Middlesex away on the 18th. In fact, as we said, their next home game is going to be versus Delaware County. It's going to be their last home game of the year because they're going to have a 4-game road trip to end the season. Verdes. Over to Cummings. Torres will come in on the outer line of the box and send it away. Nishikawa coming in. Jacobson tried to make the stop. Suarez. Over to Ngobo. Getting it past Jacobson. It's to Jimenez. Jimenez guarded by Lewis. Lewis over to Jacobson. He's got some room. Shot by Ngobo. Got a high angle on it, but right to Major Evans, the English goalkeeper. And we've got 1:45 to play. One minute to play. Again, RCSJ came into this game versus the nationally ranked Camden County College, looking to avoid their 4th straight win, but it almost looks like they've run into it. Hold on here, clock stops. Card will be assessed against Camden and against number 5, Miguel Bontarin. Torres is way up there. This will be Elijah Cummings to take it with 41 seconds left in the ball game. Looks like Cummings is over there, but Pagan will be the one to take it. Here we go. Got some good height on it. Headed forward. Lewis. That ball was out with 30 seconds left. An already dwindling game looks like it's going to be down to its last breath. Again, Camden. They'll be home on Thursday versus Delaware County, the Phantoms. And then RCSJ will not play until Saturday versus Bergen. That one goes out on the RCSJ sideline with 10 seconds left. They'll get one last throw, not going to get too much on it. And Camden County with their 8th win of the year. Final score, Cougars 5, Roadrunners 2. And after a 3-0 first half, it looked like this game was going to continue to spiral, but then the Roadrunners clawed back with 2 goals. And with about 15 minutes left, it was very briefly a 1-goal game, but instead it ends with Camden County securing a 3-goal victory for their 8th of the year. Again, they improved to 8-2-1 on the season. RCSJ falls to 4-5-1 with their 4th straight loss. Haven't won since September 13th versus Northampton. That'll be all for us here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Carson Rosso. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you on Friday with South Jersey Group 1 football between the Overbrook Rams